Dear parents, a warm welcome to our second video. Here you'll find out when daycare centers are open and how daily life there works. I am Professor Dr. Thomas Gleisch, psychologist and political scientist. My professorship at the Magdeburg Stendal University focuses on the management of daycare centers. Daycare centers in Saxony-Anhalt are open longer and more often compared to other German federal states, from Monday to Friday almost every week. They are only closed on weekends and holidays. Many daycare centers take a break during the summer holidays and over the new year, as many families spend that time together anyway. Daycare centers are also closed on certain days, for example, when team training takes place. Since this is part of the ongoing operation, care costs are also incurred on these closing days. Each daycare center sets its own opening hours. These are discussed with the parent representatives. Typically, the daycare opens early in the morning and closes in the late afternoon. As parents, you agree with the daycare management and the provider in the care contract about the times your child will be dropped off in the morning and picked up in the afternoon. This way, the daycare can reliably organize daily life. By the way, you need to stick to the drop-off and pick-up times as closely as possible so that the staff is ready to care for the children. Always let the facility know if you can't stick to the agreed times. Every daycare center has house rules. The house rules govern the coexistence and daily routine. Examples of such rules include that photos or videos may only be taken with the parent's permission, or that certain areas in the building are only accessible to staff. All daycare centers in Saxony-Anhalt provide lunch for the children. Some daycare centers prepare the food themselves, while others hire a catering service. Some daycare centers also offer breakfast and a snack in the afternoon. In other daycare centers, parents provide these meals for their children. You arrange all of this with your daycare. Some children shouldn't eat all foods. This can be the case, for example, with intolerances or allergies, or for religious or other reasons. Then the parents discuss other options for food supply with the daycare or the supplier. The daycare year starts on the 1st of August and ends on the 31st of July of the following year. New children can usually be admitted throughout the whole year. The care contracts always start at the beginning of the month. First, there's an adjustment period so that the child can settle in well. It's designed a bit differently in every daycare center so that it fits the educational concept, the spatial conditions, and the staff. Usually, the parents accompany the child to the daycare in the first few days, and then gradually step back until the child can manage the daily routine in the facility independently. If the child stays at home for a longer time, for example due to illness or holidays, a new adjustment period can also be useful or necessary. When you bring your child to the daycare, please always hand them over directly to a qualified staff member, so don't just leave the child in front of the door or in the room. Children are also not handed over to unknown people. That means if someone other than you picks up the child, that person needs a written authorization. Often there's a ready-made form for that in the daycare. If other people regularly, e.g., aunts, grandmas, or friends picking up the kids, please discuss this with the management and make sure that your child has all the necessary things for the day, like a change of clothes, slippers, or rain gear. The staff will give you some tips on that. The daily routine is a bit different in every daycare. It depends on the educational concept. The day often starts with free play, followed by a communal breakfast and a welcoming ritual, like the morning circle. In the morning circle, the group of children discusses the topics and activities for the day. Until lunchtime, there are various educational support activities, projects, or outings. After lunch, the children can rest or take a nap. In the afternoon, there are more play and learning activities until the children are picked up. In most daycare centers, there are fixed groups of children. They are either mixed age or divided by age. So, for example, children in creche up to 3 years old, kindergarten from 3 to 6 years old. Here, the children are always in the same group, but there are also daycare centers with an open approach. In this concept, the children choose to switch between groups and educational activities, or every day. For example, music, theater, movement, nature exploration, outings, and the children then choose what they want to do. The educational professionals in the daycare center pay attention to recognizing the interests and wishes of the children and support them in implementing those. All children have legally established children's rights, as well as the right to participate in the daycare center. For example, in the morning circle, they are asked about their wishes and opinions. Or they can choose a representative who is to be heard by the board of the facility. The daycare center is a place where children from very different families come together. The children learn to get along well with each other, to support one another, and to resolve conflicts peacefully. That's why the daycare center is a very important part of the education system in Germany. It clearly prepares the children well for their further journey in life. You can find more explanations about costs in daycare centers, staffing, support services, or parental involvement in daycare centers in the other videos on our channel. We sincerely wish you and your family all the best. Bye.